Hi, friends. Welcome once again to another fantastic episode of Moments with Michael. And today I am most pleased and excited and honored to have as my guest not just an actor, film director, producer, and everything in one. My really good friend, Mr. Hansley Ajodha.
Mike, it's wonderful to see you. It's certainly a pleasure. Thank you so much. It's an honor.
It's a pleasure for me, though, actually, after so many years
Yeah.
to actually meet in person to have this podcast.
You know what's interesting is that you and I hardly see each other, but the fact is every time we meet each other is almost as though we never parted.
That's true.
And, it's an honor for me to speak to a man I consider to be one of the few geniuses in Trinidad. You're such a brilliant and wonderful human being, and I consider you one of the finest people in Trinbago.
Oh my God, you say
And
the
indeed.
nicest things to me all the time,
Yeah, but it's
Hansley.
the truth. It's the truth.
I know you have been involved in so many productions even before we did your Ramayan. And when I was asked to work with you, I felt this honor of, my God, you and David. And I am thinking now, oh my God, they're accustomed acting, with these nice Western wear. And to have to tell Hans that he have to be bare chested with a canhawar
Yeah.
and a dhoti pants and he is King Dashrat. I mean, what are the major roles? How am I going to say, would you be comfortable wearing a dhoti?
Mhm.
And you were saying, of course,
Yeah.
I'm excited, Michael. This is something new to me.
Yeah.
You remembered when we had to put the chandan for you, the tikka,
Uh-huh.
when things in life happens not by
Yeah.
chance, I remember your eyes just closed, just instantly closed, and we put it on us.
Mhm.
And I am nervous because I'm thinking, this man will say, what is this boy doing with me?
Yeah, yeah.
And after you say, oh my God, Michael, wow, I feel like I go on stage now, What for you made that whole experience different?
I think, first of all, at home, on my grandfather's estate, they never spoke English. They spoke Bhojpuri and Hindustani, and we all wore dhotis at that time. What was for me, it became now something that was an indelible part of my childhood, now manifest in an art form that I was so greatly involved in. But with you now, the fact that I trusted you absolutely because I
Yes.
knew that I was working with a genius. I knew I was working with one of the true creative geniuses of Trinidad and Tobago. So for me, I trusted the process and the fact that I knew that you were going to take very good care of me in terms of how I look. I mean, I look back at the pictures and
Yes.
of this production, and a picture speaks 1,000 words, and you could see the incredible excellence and the thought processes that went into the creation of these things. So for me, it was a seminal moment.
Over the years, most of the times you have been the man with the microphone, introducing artists, people on stage, because you fit in so much different roles. What is your feeling like before that moment, before you introduce Shiv Shakti on stage? Is your expectations high, or tell me how you?
It's for me a very emotional moment, Mike, after working with you on the Ramayan. And every time that I had the opportunity of introducing you on the stage, for me, it's a highly emotional moment. It's almost a moment that will drive me to tears, simply because it is an extraordinary thing to know that I can call you friend. And the fact that I'm introducing probably the greatest dance group in our country's history, a dance group that sits head and shoulders with just about any great artistic organization anywhere on the planet, is a unique thrill for anybody like me. It remains, again, seminal moments because you don't always get the opportunity to introduce a dance group that's on the lips of just about everybody or in the mind of everybody. Every single prime minister knows who Shiv Shakti is, and that's significant. Everybody, regardless of creed or race, knows who Shiv Shakti is, who they are. So it is incumbent upon me to make sure that when I introduce you, I say the things that not only will compliment you, but say the truthful things that will help to truly define the extent of the work and the level of genius and the fact and the level of accomplishments that we've seen with Shiv Shakti. So it's just a great thing to introduce you all.
My God, you almost moved me to tears, you know. I have been asking all the questions so far.
Right,
If you had to ask me a question, now I'm putting myself on the spot.
right.
What question do you think I would be most nervous to answer?
Mike, what motivated you to give so much of yourself to so many people?
Wow. Well, that is indeed a very interesting question.
Mhm.
I think it will all go back to my childhood, you
Mhm.
know, and the love I had for dancing, because all I remember I ever loved to do was to dance.
Right.
And you know, being a male dancer, the stigma that is attached, and you know, the villagers will say things about you, and people will heckle you and trouble you and all that. So I lost my father at a very young age. My mother was both mother and father to me, and we had a very close bond. And she always told me one thing. She said, you know, go for your dreams. Whatever you like, I will support you. And I remember in the very early years when we started to dance, um, we entered a competition and we didn't win. And, you know, we felt that we should have won. And something she said to me always stood out. She said, son, in life, they could rob you anything, but they could never rob you your talent. And with that, for me, that has always been a motivation for me. And I think that I'm happy that I've had those negative experiences, Hansley. So now I could know how a child would feel if you quarrel with them, or if you try to shatter their dreams, or if you try to tell them, you know, this is impossible, you can't do this, you can't do that. So for me, dance is not just teaching you basics and dance, whatever. For me, dance is, you said it earlier, you know, you hit it on the nail, and I was very surprised. For me, dance is devotion. It's my service. When I'm on stage, nothing don't exist, just myself and the music.
Yeah.
What you give in life is what you get. The more I teach is the more I learn. And while this may sound funny, I think the secret of being a good teacher is being a student.
Yes.
Because when you're on both sides of the fence, you can understand the needs, the wants, what they like, what they would respond to. So if you are in my class, you will have so much fun, like we did in the Ramayan. You remember every single time before we go on stage, Kamala has to come and say, "Guys, shh,
Yeah.
easy. Oh, you're all going on just now because we
The
can't."
excitable, yeah.
It's so
Everybody was
exciting.
excited to go
Yeah,
on
at the
stage.
end of
Yeah.
it, I am sure up to now you don't know how filled the audience was, how
Yes.
much people we had in the auditorium. All we can remember, we had a great time.
Yeah, it was, and the audiences were thrilled. It was a memorable moment. I
Yes.
think that is where, for me, is the most extraordinary thing. You've been able to touch all these young lives, and they've been passing through your hands for many, many years. I mean, you are a mentor extraordinaire, and that is something that few of us could actually boast about.
So let me ask you this question, right?
Sure.
I know you were very highly involved in acting, even now. But when you were asked to do it, do you think it was like a crazy idea? Do you think it was something risky? Do you think that we could actually pull this off?
Yeah. We didn't think it much of a risk. We were thrilled by the fact that we were going to work with you. And the opportunity to do something about one of the most significant characters in world history. Even my grandfather named all his sons Ram. And
Wow.
I would never forget, I looked at a film called 9 Hours to Rama. And it was a movie about Mahatma Gandhi's assassination, the day of Mahatma Gandhi's assassination by Nathuram Godse. And when Gandhi cried out, "Hey Ram,"
Yes.
and I saw that film when I was just about 4 or 5 years old. Rama remained a part of my childhood and my growing up and all that sort of thing. So here I was about to involve something that I considered very, very important and significant. So the intimidation simply wasn't there because it was an opportunity to try something new from our own theatrical training. The thrill of working with you and then the thrill of doing something at this epic stage, in itself, while it may seem daunting at first, th- that is something that you overcome quite quickly. And we jumped right into it simply because you also made us very comfortable. Kamala made us very comfortable, and we brought our own element of
Yes.
whatever we would have crafted over the years to this highly unique production.
So my final question to you, my dear friend Hansley and brother and everything and mentor, we have shared so much.
Sure.
And for you, tell me, what does the word legacy mean to you?
Legacy is so very important, but I don't think we ever really go in to set out to set a legacy. I think you spoke about devotion. I think it's where we devote our lives to our specific pursuits, and yours was dance, and mine was a world of theater and film. You decided to create out of dance. You touched lives, and you improved so many hundreds of lives in that. And I think that's where the unintended legacy lies. The fact without a legacy can only be a legacy if it doesn't touch lives. If it touches lives, that's the only time it can be a legacy. And you've done that. That has been your life narrative. So the fact is that you have left a legacy a long time ago. You're just simply continuing it. Where it goes from here, I don't know. I mean, Clint Eastwood is making movies at 93, and I hope to see that Michael Salickram is going to be doing the same, touching lives. Your legacy has been there since, I think, when we started the Ramayan. You had already established that. And it's just simply merely a continuum of very much in life itself. I would say that Shiv Shakti is like life. It's in a constant rebirth, and there are always new faces, new people coming in. And that's your legacy, because you've created this rebirth, and you've created new opportunities for so many different people. A child born today is going to be working with you 12 or 13 years down the line. That is more than a legacy, Michael. You've done certainly more than that. And once you continue with that, I think legacy is too simple a word to describe what you've contributed.
Oh my God, Hansley, this is wow. What a way to end this episode. I mean, I couldn't imagine, I was all excited when I know I had to, speak to you and get your thoughts about working with us and Shiv Shakti. But I really, really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
It's an honor.
Thank you so much for being the person you are, supporting us, through every opportunity you get. And we're always there for you as well. I wish you continue the success in what you're doing too with filmmaking and all that.
Yep.
I know it's going to be big. I know it's going to be epic.
Yep.
So congratulations and thank you
so much. Thank you so much, my brother. You take good care of yourself, and make sure I want to see you in your 90s doing exactly this. I'll be around too.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'll be around. Yes. So we're going to be around, and we look back on this. Yeah, I can't dance to save my life. I can't dance to save my life. Much less as complicated as you do.
Don't worry. You'll get there.
Yeah.
You'll get there.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you again, Michael. Thank you.
Okay, my friends, on to my next podcast.